I'm Sheriff T.K. Waters. This is a critical incident briefing by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Our agency has prepared this briefing consistent with this administration's commitment to openness and transparency to the public that we serve. Now, the Chief of Professional Standards will deliver the currently available information pertaining to this incident.
I'm Mike Schell, the Chief of Professional Standards for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Today we are releasing information regarding an officer-involved shooting that occurred in the roadway of the 14,000 block of 𝐒𝐿𝐴 Street in Jacksonville, Florida on February 11, 2025. This information will provide you with a better understanding of what happened, as well as what was known to law enforcement prior to the incident. It's important to remember that when investigating an incident like this, detectives must interview numerous witnesses, review many hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. With these investigations often taking up to a year or more to complete, we're still at the very early stages of this investigation. Our understanding of this incident may change as additional evidence is collected and reviewed. We do not draw any conclusions regarding whether the officer acted appropriately with respect to the law or JSO policy until all the facts are known and the investigation is completed. A word of caution. The images and information presented may be graphic. When an officer uses force to arrest someone or defend against an attack, it can be disturbing and difficult to watch. Viewer discretion is advised. This officer-involved shooting resulted in the injury of Michael 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 3, including arrests for fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, resisting a law enforcement officer, burglary, making threats, and various drug and theft charges. 𝐜𝐼𝐺 previously served 1 year and 3 months in Florida State Prison for resisting an officer with violence. At the time of this filming, 𝐜𝐼𝐺 was in stable condition at a local hospital. Due to his actions prior to this critical incident, 𝐜𝐼𝐺 has been charged with aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, trafficking in MDMA, possession of cocaine, and possession of marijuana. On January 30th, 2025 at approximately 9 p.m., Officer 𝐿𝐻𝐼𝐺 observed a silver Impala being driven by an individual, later identified as 𝐜𝐼𝐺, with window tint that appeared to be darker than the legal limit. When Officer 𝐻𝐼𝐺 got behind this vehicle, he additionally observed that its tag lights were not working. Based on the multiple traffic infractions, Officer 𝐻𝐼𝐺 attempted to stop the vehicle. At first, 𝐜𝐼𝐺 stopped his car at the intersection of North Main Street and Pecan Park Road. Officer 𝐻𝐼𝐺 exited his patrol vehicle, walked towards 𝐜𝐼𝐺, and used his flashlight to illuminate 𝐜𝐼𝐺's face as he sat in the driver's seat. However, before Officer 𝐻𝐼𝐺 was able to speak with him, 𝐜𝐼𝐺 fled westbound on Pecan Park Road. Officer 𝐻𝐼𝐺 and other officers in the area attempted to locate 𝐜𝐼𝐺 but were unsuccessful. At that time, Officer 𝐻𝐼𝐺 searched law enforcement databases, confirmed 𝐜𝐼𝐺's identity, and additionally learned that 𝐜𝐼𝐺's driver's license was suspended. On February 11th, 2025, at approximately 3:30 p.m., officers identified 𝐜𝐼𝐺's silver Impala driving on Max Leggett Parkway. They planned to do a traffic stop and arrest 𝐜𝐼𝐺 for fleeing from police during the attempted traffic stop on January 30th. Sergeant McEwen located 𝐜𝐼𝐺 driving northbound on Gossett Street. 𝐜𝐼𝐺 backed his Impala into a residential driveway. Sergeant McEwen then parked his patrol vehicle in front of the suspect vehicle, exited his police car, and commanded 𝐜𝐼𝐺 to show his hands. Rather than comply with the sergeant's directives, 𝐜𝐼𝐺, who was still seated in the driver's seat of the vehicle, backed up his car slightly and then accelerated towards Sergeant McEwen, who was standing next to his patrol vehicle in the driveway. Sergeant McEwen took several steps backwards and then fired his JSO-authorized handgun at 𝐜𝐼𝐺. 𝐜𝐼𝐺's vehicle drifted forward several feet, still in drive, and then stopped when it hit a fence. Sergeant McEwen yelled loud verbal commands for 𝐜𝐼𝐺 to exit his vehicle. 𝐜𝐼𝐺 eventually complied and crawled out onto the ground. Officers called for rescue and took 𝐜𝐼𝐺 into custody. Paramedics arrived on scene and transported 𝐜𝐼𝐺 to an area hospital for treatment of his gunshot wounds. After the officer-involved shooting, investigators obtained a search warrant for 𝐜𝐼𝐺's vehicle and located cocaine, marijuana, and trafficking amounts of MDMA inside the vehicle. Ultimately, 𝐜𝐼𝐺 was arrested for 4 felonies and 1 misdemeanor: fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer for his conduct on January 30th, an aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, trafficking in MDMA, possession of cocaine, and possession of less than 20 grams of marijuana for his conduct on February 11th. The following video footage captured the shooting and the events before and after it. First, you will see a portion of video footage captured by Officer 𝐻𝐼𝐺's body-worn camera when he attempted a traffic stop and 𝐜𝐼𝐺 fled from him on January 30th.
Florida, Bravo, Quebec 9-1, Victor Hotel, Silver Impala, unknown occupants.
50 Buchanan, Maine, Bravo, Quebec 9-1, Victor Hotel.
Next, you'll see a portion of the video footage captured by Sergeant 𝐒𝐿𝐞𝐫's body-worn camera. This footage shows Sergeant 𝐒𝐿𝐞𝐫's attempt to arrest 𝐒𝐿𝐞𝐫's for felony fleeing. Then it will show 𝐒𝐿𝐞𝐫's accelerating towards the sergeant and the sergeant shooting at 𝐒𝐿𝐞𝐫's.
Show me your fucking hands. Show me your hands. Put your hands out the door. Put your hands outside the door. Hands outside the door. Don't you fucking do it. Stop. Stop. (8:39, 10:33 on 𝐒𝐿𝐷. Shots fired. Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Open the door!
I'm hit! I'm hit! I'm hit!
Crawl out the car! Crawl out!
I'm hit!
Crawl out!
I'm hit!
Crawl out!
I'm hit! I'm hit!
Crawl out!
Bro, I'm gonna die!
Get on the ground!
I'm gonna die! Oh
1068,
my God, I'm
1068,
gonna die!
Whiskey Mike, shot in the head.
The next step in this investigation involves an independent inquiry and review of the officer's actions by the State Attorney's Office. The State Attorney's Office will decide whether the officer's actions were lawful. After the conclusion of the criminal investigation by the State Attorney's Office, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office will begin an administrative investigation into the officer's actions to determine if they were within agency policy. This begins with the convening of a response to resistance review board, in which the officer is compelled to provide testimony about his actions during the incident. This board will then decide whether the officer violated any policy during the incident. The determinations made by the board will be submitted to the sheriff for review and a final decision. As stated earlier, JSO does not draw conclusions about the officer's conduct with regards to the law or our policies until the investigation has been completed. On behalf of Sheriff Walters and the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, thank you for your time and attention.